All right, you guys, we're out here with our brand new Dodge, what is this thing even called? Monaco. And this is our future RV for all of our traveling going down the highway. What's going on, guys? Bruce here, and welcome back to the channel. Holy shit! Oh my. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are back out here tearing into the Cabover. It looks like you guys like seeing the Cabover content. So we're bringing it back out. So today we're actually tearing the, oh, I hear Brad, tearing the engine out of the Cabby today. And we're gonna be getting it put inside. I got a spot cleaned out inside the shop so that we can tear it apart and do a full engine rebuild out of frame. But before we get too far into today's video, I wanna send my condolences out to Joe Diffie. You guys don't know who that is. He's a major country singer. I loved his music growing up. He actually died today from the epidemic that's going on in the country right now. If you guys have been watching YouTube videos, you notice a lot of us YouTubers aren't talking about what's going on too much because they're demonetizing our videos. So, but condolences to his family. It's really shitty, guys. It lets you know that this stuff is real, and you know, stay safe, wash your hands, and do your stuff to take care of yourself and your family, guys. But today, Austin and I are up here. We're very clean people. We wash our hands all the time. And we're going to be getting the engine out of the Cabover and getting it put inside the shop. And I've got some exciting news coming at the end of the video, guys. So make sure you stay here for the end of the video. It's going to be exciting. So we got to get this thing ripped out of here. There's tons of stuff that's got to come out and be unhooked, and fuel lines and starter wires, all kinds of crap. So let's get it out of here. So guys, I'm over here ripping the wiring harness and unbolting everything. I don't remember where everything goes back, but I feel like I'm gonna have to like rebuild the wiring harness anyways, because it's just freaking junk. Like, whoever has worked on this thing over the years just kind of put stuff back really half-assed and never did anything like working on stuff correctly in a hurry on the side of the road. Who knows? And just everything, nothing was kind of taken apart right whenever it was taken apart before in previous years. So I'm gonna have to put a new wiring harness on it or rebuild the one that's here. But I've got all the wiring off this side. The starter we're going to leave on the engine. I've got all the hose, all the grounds off of it, all the battery cables hooked up to it. Austin's over there working on pulling like the oil dipsticks and all that stuff off the engine. Once I get like the back half done and everything relieved from back here, what needs to come loose, I'm gonna move up here to the front and we're gonna start pulling like the radiator hoses off the radiator. There's a lower radiator hose. I think I've already got one undone. There's one more I've got to pull off, and then there really isn't much to get this engine out and get her rebuilt. So get up here and get these radiator hoses undone now. So what I'm gonna try to do, guys, is avoid having to pull this fan off. Oh, well, it turns over relatively easy with no pistons in it. It does have a fan clutch on it, and I thought the fan clutch, maybe you guys can tell me if this fan clutch is released by air or if it's activated by air pressure. So right now we're actually turning the whole engine over. You can see the crank in there moving. So I'm really excited because by us pulling the engine out, I can also advance the timing in the engine to get a little bit more power out of it and run it a little bit safer with the power level we're going to be at. But I've got two bolts right here that come out that holds the engine, that I guess rear engine mounts in, and there's two up here in the front. I'm going to go to the Austin side and get those pulled out. And what I'm going to try to do is, instead of having to pull the fan off and deal with all that, because a lot of these bolts and stuff are seized up, it's just we're going to slide the engine back and then pick it up out of here. So the only thing I can see now we're going to have to fight with is the cab and the forklift getting it in here. So we already had us a little kind of close with the transmission there, but maybe we'll figure it out. I don't know how heavy this engine is. It can't be, I'm sure it's heavy, but it can't be as heavy as you know, it would have been with the heads and pistons and all that stuff in the rotating assembly. So Milwaukee for the friggin' win, guys. Snap-on going to be doing that right now. I'll tell you that right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys that watch are mechanics and you know the deal. So the way this engine like stand works right here is it sits on these rubber mounts. If you guys can see that or not, maybe. Yeah, there you go. So we're probably gonna end up replacing those just for safekeeping also. I dropped the other bolt on the ground, but it looks like Austin's got pretty much everything out of here. You got some big cutters, Austin? Grab me some right quick. This right here is the block heater. It is freaking trash. We're gonna end up replacing it. We're probably not gonna replace it anyways because we're down here in Florida and it doesn't really get cold at all. So here's the engine breather. That should be right there out of the way. Our new oil filters that we put on there. We're not gonna be using anymore. So you gotta get the wiring harness right here that loops over the front of the engine. We're gonna have to get it unbolted. We'll have to get under there to where the lower radiator hose is that hooks up down there in front of the radiator. You guys can see that right there. I'm moving it and get it loose. And this upper radiator hose right here is going to come off. This is a low flow cooling system. Depending on what all requires to convert over to a high flow cooling system, we may do. I'm not sure yet. All right, so don't need that no more. This junk. We'll replace it or not do anything with it. Don't know what we're doing yet. I guess what we need to do now is get these hoses off, and then this wiring.
Yeah, to the alternator.
Like that little guy right there. You get it off, and then I'll get underneath there and figure out how to get the front engine mount bolts right quick. So I had to run inside and talk to a man about a dog, and Austin's got all the hoses off of it. I've got some old head bolts. We're gonna be replacing the head bolts anyway, so got the old head bolts with the chain through it right there. I'm gonna get the forklift pulled over here and try to get it over here good enough so that we can get into the side of it over there, maybe, hopefully. I'm about to find out. So I'm gonna get this thing started up. Here you go, partner.
Big pry bar?
Is there anything on the front hooked up still? You might have to turn the engine. Grab it. Turn it. Well, there you have it, guys. The engine's out of the Cabover. We didn't get too much film because it's just me and Austin up here trying to work alone. But here's the mounts that hold the engine in. I guess they're still in okay shape. Look how nasty the inside of this frame is. I'm retracting all my statements about what we were doing, painting it, all this blah, blah, blah crap. We're gonna do this 100% the right way, full off resto. Everything's gonna be brand new, guys. This is what everyone wanted to see from the beginning, so that's what we're going to be doing. So engine's out of it. We're gonna clean up our mess, try to get all this stuff out of the way. And then we're actually going to be headed up north of town to pick up a Winnebago for a future video with the mega truck, and stop and look at a project which you guys will get to see in a future video. So Austin and I are gonna get everything cleaned up. Trini's right there on the ground still. I'll show you where we got the engine set. I actually got it set right in front of my toolbox here in the shop. It's a little bit noisy because we got the fans running because it's like super hot right now here in Florida. But here she is in all of her glory. So we can get the engine rebuilt while it's chilling here in the shop and check the cam, advance the timing, all that good stuff. But this thing is a freaking big old girl. I'll tell you right now, guys, this thing's huge. So hold tight, we're gonna get everything cleaned up. We're gonna run uptown and check out some other stuff. Hold tight. Baby girl. So I told you guys we were making a stop on the way home. We're getting a sneak peek at this other Cabover semi. I want to get into the Cabover content. We know that the International isn't gonna be done for a while because it's gonna take an enormous amount of work, but I need a semi like right now so I can pull a trailer and do the flat nasty stuff and start doing some road trips. So tomorrow's video will be on this particular semi. I'm gonna show you for 5 seconds and you guys can comment about it. Boom. Freightliner Cabover. It is a stretched wheelbase and it is air ride, guys. So boom, that's all you get. So be looking out for tomorrow's video. We'll be going over what engine's in it, what training's in, and all that stuff. We're gonna decide whether or not we're gonna buy it. We're gonna take it for a test drive maybe. Startup's been sitting for about 1.5 years or so, but it was a road ready truck. It was used all the time. So now Austin's found us a RV. Is that him calling? That's what he says.
Yo. All right, I'm back.
So what'd he say?
Yeah, about 30 minutes. All
right, so we'll go to the house and drop that off first. Then we'll go get our RV for our demolitions derby gonna be happening soon. All right, you guys, we're out here with our brand new Dodge, what is this thing even called? Monaco. And this is our future RV for all of our traveling, going down the highway and doing videos. Right now it doesn't roll that well, so we got the Chevrolet hooked up to it. We're gonna see if we can move it and get it to move a little bit. Right now they said the wheels are locked, so.
And there's little Brad with the beer in his hand.
Get in there and steer it for me. It's almost acting like it's pausing, like it's just still in gear. Still in gear. Sweet. Yeah, that motherfucker's stuck in gear is what it is. I'm gonna bump it again, Brad. Look over there and. All right, guys. So we got our RV pulled out of the spot where it was sitting with the Chevrolet, and oh, by the way, guys, the Chevrolet's mine now. So, anyways. We're gonna pull it down the road and try to get to my house. We have like a mile to go, a mile and a half.
Yeah, maybe.
Something like that. So we're gonna get it down there. Our freaking Dodge. How do you say this, Brad? Looks like Spanish. A
Champion?
Champion.
Champion. That's not an E. That's not an E.
Monaco Dodge Division. Monaco RV. Sweet baby. There she is, guys. We got her home safe and sound. All the tires broke loose and did what they're supposed to do. Man, she's a pooper. What do you think, Austin? You have fun?
Yeah, sketchy.
She drugged the bumper, though.